Our live event is starting.
Oh boy.
Our live event is started.
It's begun.
It's here. The day we've all been waiting for. They told us a week ago that we were going to get this new trailer, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, folks, this is Patrick Gill for Polygon.com.
I'm Samit Sarkar, also from Polygon.com. And we are your two biggest Red Dead superfans at the site, I think. Right?
Yeah, no, we're up there. We really liked the last game, and we're excited for the new one. So fair warning here. We are going to be talking over this trailer, and as you can see, we are visible over the trailer too. So if you just want to watch the trailer, that is available on Rockstar's YouTube channel right now.
And Polygon.com.
And Polygon.com, a great website that we both work for. So go hang out, or go check that out if you want just a pure, unadulterated look at the new trailer.
Which you should get before I think you get into the analysis.
Yeah. Unless you know you want to live dangerously. Anyways, let's not waste any more time. Let's take a look at the trailer together. Let's just watch it more or less silently first.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea.
And then we'll start talking about it. So let me just navigate to YouTube here real quick and turn it up and hit play. Hi, chat.
Got some money for me, boy? I seen your name in our ledger.
You're a wanted man, Mr. Morgan.
Maybe when your mother's finished mourning your father, I'll keep her in black on your behalf. We got lawmen in 3 different states after us. They chased us from the west, they chased us over the mountains. Open it up!
We'll need an extra gun.
This place ain't no such thing as civilized.
You're the only one of these fools that I trust.
Where's our money?
Do you have my bag?
Always, Dutch.
Product not yet rated.
I'm gonna pause that right quick for you. So that was sorry if it looked like we weren't paying attention there. We weren't. We were taking care of like socialing this stream and then making sure that it sounded okay. But we have watched it a bunch of times before we did the stream.
Oh yeah, you bet we did.
So initial reactions, Samit.
Well, I can't. It's about the same length as the first trailer, right?
That was the weird thing to me is like I was expecting like Rockstar sometimes goes a little harder on their trailers and like will give us longer slices. They did not do that with this one. They gave us another very brief one.
Yeah, 90 seconds or so.
Yeah.
89 seconds-ish. But the first thing that struck me is that is something that's not in the trailer per se, but is in the little description of the one-line story description that they sent out, that's in the description on YouTube, which is that the story centers on this guy named Arthur Morgan.
Yes.
And he is in Dutch Vanderlin's gang. And does that name sound familiar to you, Pat?
Pardon me?
Does the Dutch Vanderlin name sound familiar to you?
It sounds very familiar to me. I remember that guy. He was a jerk.
He was, and it seems like he's going to be your jerk in this game.
Yes, actually, you're sort of his jerk, it seems.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So, this is, I think, I don't know how I feel initially about the reveal of our new main character, just because, like, John Marston was so goddamn likable. But I'm wondering if this is Rockstar sort of reacting to one of the criticisms that they got for the last one, is that John Marston was kind of too nice. So, like, in these open world games, like, you can be a jerk, but because of the way he was written, you never wanted to be a jerk, because you loved him so much, you wanted him to be a good, nice boy. It seems like they're, like, doing more of a traditional GTA style like asshole protagonist in this one, and I don't know how I feel about that because I loved John, and he was a good boy.
Yeah, but you know, at least this does tell us that it does sort of confirm once and for all, the sort of fan thoughts and assumptions, I guess, that this would be a prequel, even though it's called Red Dead Redemption 2.
Right.
It's actually a prequel to the original Red Dead Redemption, and that in that game you had John Marston, who was he had been running with Dutch van der Linde and the gang, and he was trying to extricate himself from that life.
Right.
And then sort of had the just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Exactly.
Kind of story.
Yeah.
And so here, obviously, there's no mention of John Marston in the trailer. We don't catch any glimpses of him, but we don't know exactly where this takes place, how far ahead of Red Dead Redemption it is.
Yeah.
But I don't think there are any cars in this trailer.
Definitely not any cars. Yeah. So you saw some Ford Model Ts in the. Actually, one of the first things that you saw in Red Dead Redemption was a car being unloaded off of that ship.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is definitely a little more frontier, a little more Old West. That horse lasso animation is really good.
Yes, I think if I recall correctly, Red Dead Redemption took place in 1911, so it was kind of the frontier had already closed.
Right.
And it was really a lot of that game was kind of dealing with the sort of modern life, the new 20th century life intruding on the frontier and kind of this sort of way of life is over now. And so I think here, presumably, we'll kind of revel in the West a little bit more and kind of get more of that maybe not pioneer life, because it's probably been settled a little bit by this point, but certainly not any cars. And it does seem though like trains will play a big role here.
Yeah, we saw a couple of train robberies. Okay, so looking at this first frame, it looks really pretty, Samit.
It sure does.
I want to play it. There's a bird in front of the sun. You are going to shoot that bird. I am sure that you can shoot those birds.
Skin it.
Confirmed. Shooting birds confirmed. Right here. We got the tent returning. Not sure if... So tents were... Wait. Campfires were a mechanic in the previous game.
I don't know if there was a tent. I think it might have just been like kind of a sort of you put down like a makeshift sleeping bag or whatever.
So that was your fast travel mechanism though, to get around it. It was your save point and your fast travel mechanism.
Yeah.
Maybe that's coming back. Location wise, like, it doesn't look like New Austin. Looks more like Colorado or Iowa or like somewhere way out there in the. Anyways, oops. Let's. Thanks, YouTube.
Yes, this makes you think more of tall trees. From the original Red Dead Redemption. You got the snow-capped mountains in the background, and there's that. The grass looks just so nice.
I'm wondering if we're going to see John at all in this game.
You gotta think so, right? Yeah. Or maybe just even a passing reference at the very least. Man, look at that vista. Yeah. You got that sort of oxbow bend in the river there.
To go back to the first thing that we hear the character say, I think it's the first thing that we hear the character say. He's a debt collector. He's right off the bat, we know he's not like a personable, nice dude, like, because he's like showing up to like intimidate people into giving him money.
Yes.
So again, like we were saying earlier, maybe a bit more of a traditional GTA style protagonist, which is again still not sure how I feel about it. And maybe there's more that Rockstar might not necessarily be telling us.
Well, so that's maybe he's not actually in the gang. Maybe it's kind of you see him dealing with the gang, and then like later there's that interaction that he has with Dutch, and then maybe he's sort of somehow roped into it. No pun intended.
Oh boy, Samit, we gotta stop the stream now because you just made the worst cowboy pun. Okay, so here's the thing about Rockstar trailers, they don't like showing you actual gameplay, and when they do a lot of stuff to sort of mask it. So a couple things that I think here might be actual gameplay and not cutscene. That's cutscene. I think right there that robbery animation might be like a game mechanic thing, like if part of the game is like going into banks and knocking them over, it could feasibly. So they had a similar thing in GTA 5 where you'd go into convenience stores and you need to keep your gun trained on.
That's right.
On the cashier while he loaded up a bag. So maybe there's a similar thing here. But like, did you ever play the Mafia? Not Mafia. The Godfather games on PlayStation 2?
I played the first one. Yeah.
There was some really fun like protection racket and debt collection stuff in that game where you'd go into people's places and you'd like rough them up.
Right.
And we're seeing a lot of that sort of stuff in this.
Man,
So
that shot of that flaming mansion that looked right out of Django Unchained there.
yeah. So that's the other thing that not to get too far into it, but the last Red Dead Redemption took place in a like weird time in American history, and this takes place even closer to the Civil War, probably just shortly after, when the country was full of liberated slaves at this point, who were probably just trying desperately to get their lives together. And Rockstar still hasn't given us even a mention of that in either of the two games, which is interesting.
It's true. Yeah, we did see it. There is a looked like maybe Native American at the very least,
Yeah.
or a black character
Yeah.
with a kind of Native American style, braided ponytail. But speaking of other races, one thing we have not seen in either of the trailers so far is anything that looks remotely like Mexico.
Yes, that's a good point. So Mexico was a lot of people's least favorite part of the last game.
This long second act that kind of dragged. Yeah.
Yeah, it took a while to get there. Yeah, so we haven't even seen a hint of Mexico in this one.
But meanwhile, we do have the sort of the bayou, some crocodiles coming out and chomping down.
Yeah, into that.
And now I think that might be a good occasion to bring up one of the sort of big theories based on a long ago leak, which was that this world map of the Red Dead Redemption.
Oh yeah. They showed us New Bordeaux.
Was leaked, yeah, and sort of in one of the corners of this map was this thing called New Bordeaux. And for anyone who's played Mafia 3, New Bordeaux is a stand-in for New Orleans, and it's the setting of Mafia 3, and it's obviously a bayou kind of a metropolis there, and so that was, people were like, oh, that's kind of weird tie-in with another. I guess technically that's a 2K game. This is Rockstar, but they're under the same parent company. But whatever. Either way, in addition to having New Bordeaux on the map, they also had a segment of the original Red Dead Redemption world map. I think it was sort of maybe the West Elizabeth or I forget what the name of the city there.
Yeah.
And so that's why we've been looking around to try and see if we can maybe pick up on anything that will sort of hint at. Oh, this is a part of the original Red Dead Redemption game world that looks to be in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, I haven't seen a single completely identifiable landmark yet. I haven't seen like Armadillo or anything. Yeah, some folks in the chat are saying Mexico was really cool in the last game, and I kind of agree. I think pacing-wise, it started to drag a little bit, but like Escalera was such an awesome city to go look at. Like the one that was sort of like tiered going up the hill.
Well, I just loved it as an environment. I mean, it was just so different looking from you kind of had the sort of dry plains in around Armadillo, and then the sort of starting area of the game. And then you have West Elizabeth, which is a little bit more obviously this is the only real modern city in the game.
Samit, what are you noticing right now?
I'm noticing dual wielding.
2 guns, 2 chains. So everybody in the last Red Dead Redemption was begging Rockstar. They're like, Rockstar, please, give me 2 guns. Give me 2 guns, Rockstar. And they never gave us 2 guns.
But they did now.
So we have 2 guns now. Important part of the cowboy lifestyle is having more than 1 gun at any given moment. So
do you think if they make another one, they'll give us 3 guns in Red Dead Redemption 3?
3 guns in Red Dead Redemption 3. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They've just got to keep upping the stakes. How are you going to hold the 3rd gun?
I mean, you've got a holster. You can keep it holstered, and then also have 2 other holsters, and then it's just there as a threat. It's not a thing that you can actually use. Obviously, you only got 2 hands.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just to make a statement.
Yes.
The 3rd gun is just Yes. I think they should just give you a 3rd arm.
I mean, that's another option.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens.
Let's see. Casual Skeleman asks, will there be a character wheel, though? That is interesting. So that was the huge innovation for, not when I say huge innovation, it was the big shakeup that they did for Grand Theft Auto 5.
Right.
Was giving you 3 characters that you could play as, 4 if you counted your online character. And they have not shown us any of the online gameplay here yet.
As far, I mean, some of this might be online. We have no idea.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So will there be multiple characters?
It sounds like no. Okay. It seems pretty definitive. This is the story of Arthur Morgan, this guy, and who gets sort of involved with the Dutch van der Linde gang. And you see Dutch right there.
He looks good.
He looks good. He also doesn't look young. I mean, he's younger than he was in Red Dead Redemption, but looks like he's still got some gray, some streaks of gray there, some salt and pepper hair going on. So, you know, I would estimate that this game maybe takes place around the turn of the century, maybe, you know, 1890 in that sort of decade. I don't think it's too far back because it's not like Dutch looks like a spring chicken there.
Right. Yeah. Bill. Sorry. Did we see? No, we don't see Bill in this trailer.
We've not seen Bill,
but we see the guy that John refers to as his uncle or something like that. That weird old pervert who you hang out with in the very beginning of Red Dead Redemption 2. I think he gets his hand slammed on a table here in a second. That guy looks like Adam Scott.
Oh man, yeah. And you see the sort of gang members there, waiting to maybe rob a train, and
the snow looks so good.
Man, it looks great. It all looks great. And there's a kind of the Native American character that we were referring to.
Did I miss it? Did I miss the guy I was looking for?
I don't know.
Okay. Alligators, man. I'm going to shoot so many of them. Oh, bow.
Bow and arrow.
That's a big deal. Okay.
Yes.
Can we confirm that wasn't in the last one? Because I know they added a lot of stuff in for the multiplayer mode and support afterwards. They're like throwing knives and throwing hatchets. I don't think there was a bow and arrow.
I don't know that there ever was a bow and arrow added to Red Dead Redemption. I don't think there was, and so, you know, maybe Marston's just not the bow and arrow type, but Arthur, that's more of his expertise. So, you know, that's a way to set them apart, certainly. And I don't know, you know, it was interesting. They showed a bow and arrow, and then like the very next frame was a bear, I believe. So maybe you want to come with a little more higher firepower.
Yeah, dynamite
against something like that.
Did you hunt with dynamite in Red Dead? Because I would do that sometimes.
Man, it's so great when you're being chased down by a cougar to just drop a dynamite behind you.
Oh god,
because those things were fierce. You really didn't want to.
Did you 100% Red Dead? Did you get all the outfits, find all the hidden treasures and stuff?
I didn't do all the hunt down the.
It's okay. I thought I was doing the stream with a real gamer. So let's look. Let's try to, I don't know, speculate on mechanics and stuff like that from what little we were given here. My predictions for this game, from the stuff that this trailer is showing us, is that sort of obviously there are going to be heists, I believe, because we see a couple. We see a train robbery. We see a bank robbery. I have a feeling that a lot of the sort of in-world activities are going to be like intimidation and like debt collection type of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to the last one that was a lot of just like running into a stranger and asking them about their problems and then trying to do something about their problem.
Oh man, but the stranger missions were like some of my favorite things in the original Red Dead. Man, it was just like just to see these really just weird stories of people lost in the sort of great old West wilderness there, and just like. Some of, I think, Rockstar's best writing to date was in some of those
in some of the small moments, I think they did some well. Hunting, obviously, definitely going to be back. Hunting was a huge part of Red Dead 2 and kind of kicked off the whole obsessive hunting thing in video games that hasn't really died off yet. Like, Red Dead 2 came out. It had hunting to gather those materials. Far Cry 3 had the hunting. Tomb Raider had the hunting. Horizon Zero Dawn.
That's right.
And of course, survival games existed long before Red Dead Redemption dropped that on us. But I feel like that really sort of made it part of the AAA mainstream environment.
Pat, where did you play the original Red Dead?
Xbox 360.
Okay, yeah, that's also where I played it. You know, this one, unfortunately, still no wind of a PC version at this point.
No, not
People
even.
seem really bummed about that.
People want them to announce a PC version, but Rockstar refuses to. Here's that old fuck I was talking about. I might be wrong. I think we saw this guy in the first trailer, maybe. So Rockstar Teeth Report, and Rockstar in Red Dead Redemption, the teeth looked like they're all made out of wood.
Yeah.
Which was weird. These teeth look better. These are slightly better teeth, but look at these faces.
I almost want to see fewer teeth for these outlaws.
That's true. Get the teeth right out of there.
They don't
take
have,
care of them.
They don't have a great dental plan.
Is this Abigail?
I don't think I feel like she had dark hair. if I recall
She's got
correctly.
sort of darkish sun-bleached locks here. The sun's coming through them. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen the characters. John Marston's wife / girlfriend.
Yeah.
In the previous game.
But it is true that
She rolled the Dutch's gang.
the storyline, yes, was that she was, I believe, a prostitute, and then that she sort of rolled with the gang, and then eventually, when John sort of went legit, or they sort of got out of the gang and became homesteaders, right? They had that farm and had their son Jack, and it's going to be really interesting to see where the story goes and sort of how closely they tie it to Red Dead, because obviously it is a sequel, or sorry, a prequel, but it's the follow-up, and it's got Red Dead Redemption Roman numeral 2 after it. So I wonder, and I think a big question with any game like this is, how much are you going to need to know going in about the original game?
I'm guessing they're not going to wager on people having to, have played the previous one. So here we see some of that bank robbery footage I was talking about. He's blowing the doors off some safes. I feel like that was the thing that was missing from Red Dead 2, was maybe there wasn't a single bank robbery, was there, in Red Dead?
I can't.
There was a train robbery mission that was not super fun, because it didn't feel like a train robbery.
Yeah. I mean, and it would be really interesting to see if they do build on the heists that were such a huge part of GTA 5. But the thing was with the heist in GTA 5 was that the way that it was set up was that you would have each of the three protagonists sort of doing different things to get everybody prepared for the big job, right? Like, you'd have guys securing the weapons or sort of scoping out the location or whatever.
Yeah.
And so here, with what I'm going to, again, assume one protagonist, one playable character, that, you're probably just going to have to do it all yourself.
DIY. Horse muscles update, still good. Look at those horse muscles. That was actually one of the things that, like, in Rockstar's early coverage of Red Dead, they released these like long ass breakdowns of like all the tech that was going into the game, and they're like, the horse muscle displacement system makes the most realistically rendered horses, because you just see all these rippling muscles under these horses, but just look how fucking swole the pecs on this horse are.
If
this horse benches.
This might be the last thing you ever see, because A, you're getting a shot and you're getting stomped on by that beefy horse.
Double whammy. I don't know, Samit, do you have anything else you want to say about Red Dead Redemption 2? Are you disappointed at all in what we've seen so far?
No, I mean, what we've seen so far is only just making me, more and more excited with everything. In terms of the screenshots that they sent out in, I think it was May, when they announced that it was delayed to next spring.
Yeah.
Those look great. We did some analysis of that in a post on Polygon.com. And then, here, this trailer, there's a lot to look at, right? There's a lot just to soak it all in, like the details on their clothing and the flame effects and the environments. I mean,
so Rockstar is so smart from a PR perspective of not releasing anything that's going to give us too much of a clue. And we have both been sort of scouring this, looking for something that points to something big that we can say about the game. And so far, they're just sort of giving us flavor. Like, I haven't seen anything huge, any like clues in the background that. There's that guy that looks like Adam Scott again, right? Doesn't he look like?
Yeah, he sure does.
He does. So that we can confirm that the game has a guy who looks kind of like Adam Scott.
Right, and that young man was, Arthur was sort of threatening him, right? He was,
yes.
He was saying something about, like,
he's threatening to kill him, to make his mom continue mourning the death of his father, which is a rude thing to say to somebody you've just met.
Not very nice. But obviously that character then is whoever he's talking to is that. Nothing to do. So I think some people were saying, "Oh, maybe it's Jack," but that doesn't make any sense.
Definitely, Jack is not alive yet.
No, definitely not. But
I'm trying to figure out if that's like sorry, that little bit of animation is a cutscene or procedurally, or sorry, an actual gameplay. It's probably just a cutscene. This is probably happening in the overworld.
Yeah. Oh, I mean the deer
That's
hunting.
gameplay. That's game.
So that guy you mentioned with the curled up hat, that was, I think it was Bill Williamson, right? Was that the guy?
See, I'm trying to. It's been. I've played through Red Dead Redemption. I 100% Red Dead Redemption. I played through it like 5 times, but not in the last like 3 years.
It's been a while.
I don't remember exactly what Bill Williamson looks like, but I mean, he rolled with Dutch's gang, so it makes sense that we'd see that asshole again. I'm excited actually to spend a little more time with some of the characters from Dutch's gang who like you only got to see after the fall of the gang, because maybe they will be interesting characters. I would say to go back to my question that I had for you about whether or not you have any disappointments. I'd say I'm a little bit bummed that they didn't do anything more interesting with the protagonist. I have played, a grumpy thug in so many Rockstar games, and like it sort of fits into the mechanics of the games that they make because you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But I feel like John Marston was like a really refreshing break from that. He was so polite. There was a button you could use to tip your hat to people and say howdy. And you'd be propositioned by working ladies in the saloons, and you'd say, "I'm married, ma'am." And I was like, you are such a gentleman.
Yeah.
I love spending time with you and your horse. So yeah. Anyways, this is the trailer for Red Dead Redemption 2.
Roman numeral 2 now. They changed it. It's a strange thing to do, but
Thrilling. Roman numeral 2.
but we're still not expecting the game until next spring. Actually, what they've said, there was a earnings call, so it's not going to be until after April 1st.
Okay.
Of next year. So probably May, because that's when the original Red Dead came out. It was May 2010.
Yeah,
so.
I think it was in April that got pushed to a May.
Yeah.
Wait. Yes. Who cares? We all care. Cool. Hey, thank you for hanging out and watching the Red Dead trailer with us for a while. We've got some other stuff. I don't know if we have any other streams today, but we'll be posting some fun vids for you to watch. So, like, in the comments for this, let us know what you think when the stream is over.
Yeah, right, yes.
These comments will disappear like tears in rain, and then it'll become a video on demand. And like we're probably gonna be talking about this game a lot leading up to the release. So if you have any questions or if you have any stuff that you're disappointed about or excited about, let us know.
Or anything that you spotted that we might have not picked up on.
Like if there's any like deep cuts here that we missed out on, let us know. Because we're gonna be looking at this trailer a little more later. Cool. A lot more.
Yeah.
Sweet. Hey, thanks for hanging out. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
I need to end the stream.
Yes, end it.